Sales journey. The aim of this program is to develop the selling skills through identifying the customer profile, needs and wants and life cycle, and emphasizing on the fundamentals of the selling process. By the end of this course, you will probably be able to define customer needs and wants to reach maximum results, identify the customer life cycle, explain how to have a successful selling process. Module 1. Know your customer. By the end of this module, you will be able to describe customer needs and wants, identify the objectives as an answer to customer needs, state policies regarding customer service, sales, and cross-selling.
When we speak about the customer, we speak about the needs and demand and want. If you would like to know what are our customer needs, there are several approaches to know what are the customer needs. But the cornerstone of any theory of needs is the Maslow hierarchy of needs. Maslow hierarchy of needs, it's a motivational theory. It detects and indicates the needs that any person have, and it's arranged according to the importance. We always represent it in a pyramid, from bottom till top. We start with the physiological needs. His physiological needs such as air, water, food, shelter, sleep. These are the basic needs that no one can ever live without. And each human being should satisfy this need prior to think of anything else. The second level of needs is the safety needs. The needs to be secure, the needs to be healthy. These safety needs comes after the physiological needs. Once I satisfy the physiological needs, I start thinking how to satisfy my safety needs. Afterwards comes the love and belonging. I need to be loved. I need to have friends. I need to belong to a group. This is very important because once I satisfy the physiological need and then the safety need and then the love and belonging, I start thinking about my esteem, respect, self-esteem, the status, position. And then comes the last level of the Maslow hierarchy of needs, which is the self-actualization. I need to become more important than what I am. I need to be a well-known figure. According to the Maslow hierarchy of needs, I need to satisfy the basic need and then go to the next level up to self-actualization, which means that I'll never think about satisfying my self-actualization needs if I'm not satisfying all the levels below. According to this, we need to know what are our types of needs. This moves us to the types of needs. There are 5 types of needs: stated needs, unstated needs, real needs, delight needs, and secret needs. Stated needs. Customer wants a car. He wants an expensive car. But the real needs is he wants a car whose operating cost is low, not the initial price. The unstated needs mean the customer expects good service from the dealer. He expects to get the higher customer care level. The delight needs when the customer wants extra things in the car, like an onboard GPS. The secret needs, he wants to be treated as this important and savvy customer. These 5 types of needs is very important for us to know when we are trying to make sales.
There are several methods of uncovering customer needs and wants. One of them is the needs analysis related to the sales approach.
The needs analysis is the part of the sales process in which you learn in details what your prospective client needs that your company might be able to provide. Needs analysis is a central and critical part of making the sales. The needs analysis depends on answering 5 questions: who, what, why, how, and when. Who? Who is going to be affected by any decision to buy? Who is involved in making the decision to buy? Who is going to be the final decision maker? What? What is not working? What needs to be changed? Why? Why the customer needs to change? How? How your solution will work for them? How they need your idea to be changed to exactly fit their needs? When? When your client is going to make a decision to buy? When you can have access to all of their stakeholders and decision makers?
Needs analysis. How to be an active listener. Show your attentiveness through your body language. Face your customer, maintain eye contact, lean forward, nod to show agreement. Your mindset. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Paraphrase your customer's key statements to make sure that you didn't misunderstand their point of view. Encourage your customer to give you more information by using open-ended questions. Keep an open mind and don't jump to any conclusion or make assumptions. Don't interrupt your customer when they are speaking.
The target market. Market segmentation. The target market. Companies definitely cannot connect with all customers in large, broad, or diverse markets, but they can divide such markets into groups of customers or segments with distinct needs and wants. Companies that need to identify which market segments it can serve effectively for such a decision. This requires a keen understanding of customer behavior and careful strategic thinking. In order to develop the best marketing plans, managers need to understand what makes each segment unique and different. Identifying and satisfying the right market segments is often the key to any market success. For any effective target marketing, this requires that the marketeers identify and profile distinct groups of buyers who differ in their needs and wants, which is the market segmentation. Select one or more market segments to enter, which is the market targeting. For each target segment, establish and communicate the distinctive benefits of the company's market offering, which is the market. And profile distinct groups. Market segmentation. Geographical segmentation. This divides the market into geographical units such as nations, governorates, regions, countries, cities, or neighborhoods. Demographic segmentation. This divides the market by age and lifestyle stage, gender, and income. Psychographic or behavioral segmentation. This divides the market into groups based on their psychological or personality traits, lifestyle, values, knowledge of the product, and attitude towards the use of the product.
Miss Sarah is working in a dairy products company who is producing light yogurt. The target customer of the product is the females with age above 40 up to 60 years old, whom they go to the gym every week and on diet either for weight control or being diabetic. What are the two customer segmentations used here?
Any company has a vision and mission. Vision is the dream, where we would like to go. The mission is the reason for our existence. Vision sets a goal. Where does this organization would like to be after 3 to 5 years from now? While the mission states what exactly the company or the organization is doing. In order to achieve the vision and the mission, it's cascaded into a strategic goal. And this strategic goal should be cascaded into functional objectives. Functional objectives for marketing and sales use what we call the marketing mix. Marketing mix, it's a set of actions and tactics the company uses to promote its brand or product in the market. The mostly common marketing mix is the 4 Ps, which represented by several actions that starts with letter P. 4 tactics: price, product, promotion, and place. But several years ago, the extended marketing mix have appeared, which is the 7 Ps. 7 Ps is the combination of these 4 Ps in addition to extra 3 elements. The elements are product, price, place, promotion, people, process, and physical environment. The marketing mix is usually used to address our target customer. So, the marketing mix is designed with all its elements to satisfy the needs and wants of our target customer. The first element of the marketing mix is the product. So, we need to design the product to have the right feature that suits our target customer. The second element is the price. We need to set a price that is suitable for our target customer. The place. Our products and services should be available in the area that is near our target customer. The promotion. We need to create awareness of our existence. We need to create awareness of our products and services in the minds of our target customer. Successful promotion helps the company to spread costs over a larger output. Physical environment, which is the environment that the service and the product is delivered in. It's the environment where the company and the customer interact. In addition, that any tangible component that facilitates the performance or the communication of the service. This is all represented by the physical environment. The people, all the human actors who play a part in the service delivery or the product, thus influence the buyer's perception, namely the company's employees, the customers, and other customers in the service environment. Process, it's the actual procedures, mechanisms, and flow of activities by which the service is delivered. This service delivery and operating system.
By the end of this module, you will be able to describe customer needs and wants, identify the objectives as an answer to customer needs, state policies regarding customer service, sales, and cross-selling. Module 2. Customer Life Cycle, the stages of purchase. By the end of this module, you will be able to describe ways of collecting data using marketing, apply the purchase decision-making, define loyalty and retention, identify the meaning of win-back. Information collection using marketing. The market research process. Marketing research outcome is very important in sales journey. It provides the market intelligence required about consumer or customer behavior. Step 1. Define the problem and research objectives. Be careful not to define the problem too broadly or too narrowly for the marketing researcher. Step 2. Develop research plan. To design a research plan, we need to make decisions about the data sources, research approaches, research instruments, sampling plan, and contact methods. Step 3. Collect information. The data collection phase of marketing research is generally the most expensive and the most prone to error. Step 4. Analyze information. The researchers now compute averages and measures of dispersion or the major variables and apply some advanced statistical techniques, decision models, and sensitivity analysis to test assumptions and the strength of the conclusions. Step 5. Present findings. The researcher presents findings relevant to the major marketing decisions facing management. Researchers increasingly are being asked to play a more proactive consulting role in translating data and information into insights and recommendations. Step 6. Make decision. Marketing research helps to reduce the uncertainty surrounding the decisions to be made.
If we want to make a successful sales process, we need to know exactly what are our customers' needs and wants. And in order to know this, we can review some research. There are types of research. Either it's a primary research or a secondary research. The types of primary research, such as the observation, experimentation, and surveys. And the instruments for these types are questionnaires, surveys, psychological tools, quantitative measures, technological devices. The secondary research, it's either internal or external. Internal research, such as the sales data, the financial data, the operational data, whether it's a transport data or a storage data. And the external secondary research is governmental statistics, trade association, commercial services, business publication.
The sales funnel. The first stage in planning is to qualify customers, and the process is usually illustrated by the sales funnel. Basically, this is the funnel where your leads go in, and leads can be generated in many ways: through referrals, networking, cold calling, website traffic, media campaign. Once they are in the funnel, you start prospecting them, meaning changing them into sales prospects. Basically, you need to answer a couple of general questions at this stage. Who has the general need to buy? Who has the general ability to buy? This process will generate a smaller subset of prospects towards the middle of the funnel, where you will apply another process which is qualifying the prospects, basically converting as many prospects as possible into qualified customers. You should try to answer questions like: does the customer purchase products and services of this type? How does the customer make the decision to buy? Who are the people typically involved in this decision-making process? Do they have the budget? Is it urgent? If not, when? Once you have the answer, you will have an even smaller subset of qualified customers with whom you can proceed with the rest of the sales process. Customer life cycle. The customer life cycle starts with reaching your target market and progresses towards an established loyal customer base. Along the way, many individual customer life cycles are cut short by abandonment and attrition. The customer life cycle describes the points in the continuum where you claim a prospect attention, bring them into your sphere of influence, turn them into a registered and/or paying customer, keep them as a customer, turn them into a company advocate.
Tracking the customer life cycle. The customer life cycle is the stages representing the customer stages until he reaches the loyalty stage. It starts with the reach stage, which is referring to the potential to gain the attention of the target audience. The goal of this stage is to create awareness. Then the acquisition. Here the goal is the customer participation acquisition, so it has to do more in getting the prospects firmly into the top of the customer life cycle funnel. And then the conversion, where at this stage we try to make the prospect to be converted into a customer. Then the retention. In this stage, what began as an all-out effort to secure a purchase order now turns into an investment in encouraging repeat purchases. The one-to-one marketing concept begins with the assumption that it is far less costly to sell additional products or services to an existing retained customer than it is to find and secure a new customer. This all is controlled or affected by abandonment. Abandonment always has to do more with the online shopping. It's a very curious characteristic of the online sale is the shopping cart abandonment factor. In the bricks and mortar world, it is relatively rare for a shopper to fill a cart and then leave it, while in the online sales, it's usually common. The attrition rate is the percentage of existing converted customers who have ceased buying from you and have gone elsewhere during a specific period of time, regardless of the reason. The churn, which measures how much of your customer base roll over during a given period of time. In order to calculate the churn, divide the number of customers who attrite during the given time period by the total number of customers at the end of the time period. The customer life cycle, with all the stages and all the factors affecting it, mainly aims to reach the loyalty, where the customers with the great lifetime value are generally those who are not only loyal to your products, but also loyal to your company.
Purchase decision making and selling, the 5 stages. Stage 1, problem recognition. Before a purchase can ever take place, the customer must have a reason to believe that what they want, where they want to be, or how they perceive themselves or a situation is different from where they actually are. For the sales, this creates an opportunity. By taking the time to create a problem for the customer, whether they recognize that it exists already or not, you are starting the buying process. Stage 2, information search. Once a problem is recognized, the customer searches for a solution. As a sales, the best way to sell your product is to promote your brand or product as the solution for the problem. Stage 3, values of alternatives. Competition is the reason why customer might not purchase your product or service. Customer still wants to compare other options to ensure the decision is the right one. Stage 4, purchase decision. At this point, the customer has explored multiple options, so giving as much information relating to the need that was created will help to promote your brand as the best solution to fulfill this need. Stage 5. Post-purchase evaluation. Just because a purchase has been made, the process has not ended yet. In fact, revenues and customer loyalty can be easily lost. Even if the customer is satisfied with his or her decision to make the purchase, whether a future purchase is made from your brand is still in question.
Retention and loyalty. It's very important to understand the difference between retention and loyalty. In order to retain our customer and maintain their loyalty, we need first to satisfy our customer needs and wants. Satisfaction is the difference between what was expected and what was actually perceived. This gap, whenever it is small gap, which means that there is a satisfaction. When the customer is satisfied, he started to become a loyal customer. So what is loyalty? Loyalty is the likelihood that the previous customers will continue to buy from the same company. Organizations employ loyalty programs which reward customers for repeating of business. Customer retention statistics are typically expressed as the percentage of long-term customers, and they are important to the business since satisfied, retained customers tend to spend more, cost less, and make valuable references to new potential customers. So, this takes us into the loyalty. I need to satisfy my customer to establish and create the loyalty. So what are the types of loyalty? There are several types of loyalty programs which will enable me to create loyalty. First type is rebate or cashback program. This allows the customer to earn money back from prior purchase and redeem them after a certain amount of time or set amount. Second type of loyalty program is frequency or club or punch card programs. Buy 10, get the 11th free. Many businesses still use the paper punch card process for this type of loyalty marketing program. The third type is discount program. The discount program offers a certain percentage or currency amount off of a purchase. This can be applied on a specific product or an entire purchase. The fourth type is the points program. This is used as a currency in order for customers to keep track of their rewards. Customers usually earn points based on the amount they spend with the company. Retention of customers. There are strategies for retaining the right customers, such as identifying potential defectors, communicate with customers, listen to frontline people, treat valuable customers well, be fair even when you don't have to, use exit barriers carefully, win the right customers back.
The win-back. 3 reasons companies should focus more energy on win-back customers. These customers have demonstrated a need for the service, making them far better prospects than unknown ones. They are familiar with the company, eliminating the need to create brand awareness and educate them about the offering and thus reducing the cost of marketing. Sophisticated customer databases and CRM allow companies to draw on information about how people used their service the first time around to craft more successful win-back offers. How likely is a given customer to come back? Customers who have referred others, who have never complained, or who have had complaints that were satisfactorily resolved are the most likely to win back. Customers who canceled because of price are more likely to come back than those who left because of poor service. And people who cited both reasons for quitting are the least likely of all to return. Which win-back strategy is the most effective? Research shows that bundled offer, a mix of cross-selling and upselling, has the highest success rate, but it also has the highest cost and the lowest ROI, which is the return on investment. In industries where market share is paramount, how many customers did you add this quarter, rather than how much money you made from those customers, can be more important. By the end of this module, you are able to describe ways of collecting data using marketing, apply the purchase decision-making, define loyalty and retention, identify the meaning of win-back. Module 3. Fundamentals of the selling process. By the end of this module, you will be able to explain the selling process, state the benefits of upselling and cross-selling at the organization, describe the major mistakes made during the selling process.
Now, it's time to know how to make a successful selling process. Now it's time to know exactly what does it take to become a good salesman. So, we need to understand what does it take to become a good sales. We need to understand what do we need to do to make a successful sales process. We will start with preparation before the sales process. In order to make a successful sales process, we need to understand what is our product, what are the features, the details. Everything is related to our product. How can we use it? What is the price? What kind of problems that may be encountered with our product? We need to dig more about the history of our product. In fact, we need to study everything about our product. Second, we need to know our target customer. Who is our target customer? What is the profile of our target customer? What are the things that would affect the target customer? And at the same time, we create customer profile. Third thing, the product availability. Where is our product located exactly? It's not good to keep our customer waiting while we are still looking where is our product. We need to memorize everything about the location of our product. We need to check if it's available in the stores or not. We need to remember the price. It's not a good thing when you asked about the price and then, one moment, I will check. This is your product. This is your baby. You need to understand everything about it. In case there is an offer, memorize all the details. Customers like offers, so you need to understand and memorize everything about it. This is before the sales, during the sales process. Identify your customer. You did your homework. You prepared the customer profile. Now you need to know who is your target customer once he steps in. Approach him. Connect with him. Introduce yourself. What's your name and title? Offer your help. How can I help you? Is there anything that you would like to know about something? What exactly are you looking for? Ask about his expectations from the product. Ask if there's any problem that have been encountered before with similar products. Ask about their budget, how much they are willing to pay. It's not a good thing to offer a product that's very expensive above their budget. You need to know this information. Once the customer speaks, listen carefully. The more you listen, the more you know, the more you have a chance to create a successful selling process. Demonstrate the value of your product. Explain all the details. Be comprehensive. This will make the customer feel that your product has nothing wrong. It's a strong product. Look for opportunities for the upselling or cross-selling certain solutions. Handle objections and concerns about the product and the service. Close up the deal. And remember, greet your customer with a smile even if they are not purchasing your product. And always connect with them with a smile. Then we move to after-sales process. Once we sell our product or service, this does not mean the end of our selling process. Here comes the important part of the selling process, which is the after-sales process. We need to make sure that the customer received his product. We need to support the customer even after the sales. We are willing to answer any inquiry or question about how to use the product. Stay in contact. Maintain open communication channels. Make sure that your customer is satisfied. This will help you to achieve customer satisfaction, customer loyalty. Upselling and cross-selling. There are two techniques that helps us to sell more, like the upselling, which is the practice of encouraging customers to purchase a comparable higher-end product than the one in question. Cross-selling invites customers to buy related or complementary items, though often used interchangeably. Both offer distinct benefits and can be effective in tandem. There are several examples of the upselling and cross-selling. For example, getting 3 scoops of ice cream with the price of 2. Getting ice cream and getting a cupcake and a juice as well with less price. This will help the company to sell more of the ice cream in the case of the upselling, or sell more of other products that the company is producing, like the cupcake and the juice. All starts with selling one product. So this increases the profitability and at the same time will increase the market share, retain our customers, gain more customers, customer satisfaction, customer loyalty, organization success, and your success. There are several benefits for the upselling and cross-selling. Organization uses the upselling and cross-selling to increase the sales. These benefits are cost reduction on customer acquisition, improvement in customer retention, reduction in advertising expenditure, increased profitability, protecting our market share, leveraging on existing brand equity, economics of scope, which is the same infrastructure to sell more products. These benefits of the upselling and cross-selling at the end helps the company to keep their customers and gain more customers. They retain their customers and gain more customers. They sell more through the upselling and cross-selling, whether upselling with the same product or cross-selling with several related products. Then customers are happy, increasing in the revenues, increasing in the profit, organization success. And at the end, the upselling and cross-selling are techniques that would help you as a salesperson to sell more. Upselling and cross-selling would be very effective in creating customer loyalty. There are several benefits for the upselling and cross-selling. Organization uses the upselling and cross-selling to increase the sales.
Major mistakes done during the selling process. The 7 deadly sins. 1. You allow the prospect to lead the sales process. 2. You did not do your research. 3. You are talking too much instead of listening. 4. You do not say, I don't know, when you don't know. 5. You argue with your prospect or client. 6. You make promises you or your company cannot keep. 7. You fail to ask for the sale. You do not close. A sales rep has sold a sofa set to a customer who wanted to receive it in 48 hours. The sales rep didn't tell the customer that the delivery will take longer. The customer came back after 1 week and was angry because he hadn't received anything, and he tried to contact the sales rep, but he didn't answer him as well. What was the mistake that the sales rep did here? By the end of this module, you are able to explain the selling process, state the benefits of upselling and cross-selling at the organization, describe the major mistakes made during the selling process. After completing the Sales Journey course, you are now able to define customer needs and wants to reach maximum results, identify the customer life cycle, explain how to have a successful selling process,